You're listening to the Mind of a Boyfriend podcast.
Hello and welcome to the
Oh,
Mind
shit,
of a Boyfriend. That was your intro.
Nah, that wasn't my. I'm sorry. No, it's just that it did the. Yo, what is recording? And it was loud as fuck. I didn't expect that shit.
All right, cool. Let's get it. So, welcome to the Mind of a Boyfriend. My name is Q, and Lance is actually here today. And sorry for not giving you guys episodes sooner. A lot has been happening. I'm a relationship sabantu ayacha.
That's
Ayacha,
actually
bro.
true. Literally. I don't even know if I should call this a burnout or an expose or an attack.
Bro,
Cyber
it's
attack.
everything.
What's up?
It is everything. You know, just before the cyber attacks, right? We had, the ZITF, and then people from the capital or the people were losing relationships, bro.
Yeah.
It's like you have
Bro.
these big money cars and like big money niggas with their, well, I can't say the N word. Anyways, you have these big people coming into town, and it's a busy weekend with
Yeah.
the Manjan Sipo over the weekend as well. And then there was a shutdown as well. So imagine how relationships were shaking.
Yeah. Yo. But then I feel like for the trade fair one, that's something that we actually know, that we're used to. It's like a norm type of thing. I don't know. I think it now just depends like on the type of person you have.
Yeah.
If you know your person really is not around those areas or doesn't associate with people actually through like the whole ZITF thing, then you have nothing to worry about. But then, I mean, how are you supposed to compete with a man who's there for business days at ZITF, bro? Like, I mean, I know it's just like a week, but then that week, the amount of damage that's just done within a week is just tremendous, bro.
Yeah, but it kind of makes us fit into some stereotype because when you go to H-Town, there's a stereotype that says Bulawayo girls are loose. Doesn't it play into that? Because when they're coming here, they know, bro. They will tell people organize girls, and there's some people that organize other people's girlfriends, and then they're there, and then they're always jumping to these things, yeah. So it kind of makes it shady. It kind of makes it suck actually, because there's some people who fit into these stereotypes. So.
Yeah, that's actually true. It makes sense. But then I think this is also because I've heard that people from Bulawayo, I don't want to say Ndebele people, I'm just going to say Bulawayo people, because even the Mashona Ago Bulawayo apparently are stingy, So I think when most people then find people from Harare who actually own businesses, who earn money, have a lot of money, and they're waiting to spend on them, yeah, like how then do you turn that down? I think that's why most people are like, no, Shona hands are loose or something like that. I don't know if they're actually literally loose or it basically just sounds like a stereotype, but yeah, that's my assumption for that.
That's true. I think it also plays with, how capital cities are different from like other cities, because capital cities everything, right? The life there is different, the expectation, and every other person from the country is there. So which means money is moving faster, everything is expensive. And then you come to a city where things are not as fast, and things are just vibes, and you're not making as much money. So which means the money that you have coming from a capital city will be way more, because this is a more chilled and relaxed city. And then as for the stingy part, life is a bit tough, bro. Right? People trying to get by.
It actually is. So I mean, we can judge people for doing whatever the hell they do or whatever stereotype they fall under, but the situation is bad. We will not lie to our faces and then play Cinderella when you know that you really need to eat at the end of the day. So yeah.
It's tense. And then after people's relationships were tested by those things, we had those WhatsApp groups, bro.
No, I'm not laughing. No. Oh man. I really don't know where to start with this one. I really don't know, because this, you want to know what's shocking about all this?
Yeah.
It was so many things, so many phases of this whole process, yeah? But all of this happened under 2 to 3 days.
Yeah. And imagine
2 or 3 days Yo, like the amount of damage that was done in just 2 days, bruh. 2 days. I mean, there's one guy who promised another person to track them down. There was another one who told the person they're not their type. There's another one who actually said someone has one testicle. I don't know how that works. There's another one. Like, there's just a bunch. Like, the way this escalated, it was really, really, really shocking.
Man, it's been chaotic. It's been chaotic because I'm thinking this just happened in like 2 weeks. We've had this happening, and then you have people coming out after exposing people, and then imagine if it's just one couple, you forgive your person the other time. You're like, you know what, it's just H-Town people. These people are gonna go, and then your person gets exposed in this group again. Like, how do you then forgive them after that, bro?
You know what? Let's actually put it in its proper sequence. First, there's trade fair. You're like, nah, trade fair, they did whatever they did, that passed. Screw it. Next trade fair is what? Next year? Sharp.
Yeah, munch and sip.
After trade fair, nah, not even munch and sip. Shut down.
Shutdown was on Saturday, by the way. Yeah. So shutdown.
So shutdown was Saturday. Your person goes out and they don't even tell you. Imagine that happens. You're like, nah, screw it. Yeah, you know what? It's fine. It's okay. It's all right. Following day, Munch and Sip, even as Charleston taking pictures of people. There's picture proof, bro, that you were there. You can't even deny it.
You can't, bro. And they even pose with those pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, and they even pose. Like, even if you don't pose, like you could be in the background and you know your person's outfits, bro. You can't lie on that one. Like, how then do you and then right after that, there's a group that it's an expose, and you have 7 girls sending your partner's pictures.
Oof.
Bro. Surprisingly, that's actually how I found out about the group. Someone said 2 girls sent my picture in the same group.
You're going to get killed, bro.
I don't know if this was a joke or if it was actually serious, but I just ended up telling them, I'm like, nah, if there are actually people who claim that they're dating me at the same time and they're actually fighting the group, they're gonna come to my DMs, and whoever the hell it is, I'm gonna let you guys know. But I don't have such. That's why I really wasn't bothered. So,
but you see that's what other people were saying. Like, it was all fun and games, but then it's also defamation of character, because there's some people that are just vile. They're just sending multiple people. Because I think I joined one of the groups, and there was a guy who kept sending.
Oh, you did what?
Leave me alone.
What
okay?
did you do?
It was all for research purposes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Right.
All
so there was this
I
one.
did my research. I didn't even have to enter the group though.
Trust me, there was nothing really happening in those groups. But anyways, there was this one guy who kept sending multiple pictures of different women, right? And asking, is this one safe? Then it dawned on me that, well, there might be some women who are doing the same thing that side, just sending random pictures of people and they're not even involved with them. And then you start a relationship fight and it's like World War III, bro. And you're out here all innocent because some lady wanted fun. Or some gent decided, you know what, I'm going to post this and see what's up. Because even in these groups, people are entering under false pretenses. As you saw in our community, people changing usernames just to get it. It was all fun, but then it's damaging.
It is actually, because like what you say, someone could have just sent a person's picture to check what this person has going on. It could be someone who has a crush on the person, run a quick background check to just see what this person is on about. So now imagine 7 people doing a background check on one girl. The first assumption is this girl has 7 guys. Before we even, because why the hell would I go into a group and just send some random person's picture in the group? And that person is not even my partner. Why am I even bothered by this? But then for people to actually stop and think about this,
it's like there's no time for those things. Because bro, speaking of no time, there was also the Drake and K Dot beef. It's like, what is happening? It's been an eventful 2 weeks, bro.
Nah, that
Man, it's just too
ah
many things happening. It's just too much.
nah.
It's too
I
much.
don't even want to say anything. I don't want to pick sides, but we know the truth. But yeah,
Yeah, no, that
I
is
don't want
not
to
for
really like
us.
dwell on this a lot.
No, we're
But
not going to do that.
yeah, no, I'm not gonna. I'm a hip hop person. I have nothing against Kendrick. Oh, best. I actually have all of Kendrick's albums, all four. Yeah,
And then,
but
and
and I
then,
also like Drake.
yeah.
But
Now, this is not about us. And, these people are not like us. So we're just going to let it go, man. Let them handle their issues.
yeah, okay, fair enough.
So I
But
guess we've
man,
been waffling for a minute. So let's get to today's topic because this was your topic: long distance relationships, man.
it was. Oh yeah, it was. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, no, I think I was now just caught up with everything that's just happening um lately. I actually forgot about today's topic, but yeah. All right. Long distance relationships. I think for on this particular topic, the main question is, does it actually work?
Well, I guess it does. Making it work because you're the prototype for all of these things. It's like you, the quintessential element in all this, bro. We're looking up to you to
Yeah,
give
that's
us
true.
these answers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually true. I mean, for me, right, I've actually always had the same like theory when it comes to
Yeah.
like a long distance relationship. Although I'm not really one to really like long distance relationships. Like in my head, I always told myself, I'm like, nah, long distance relationships suck. I don't think I'm built like that. I don't know. But then we say a lot of things and then other things happen. But my basic 2 cents for long distance relationships are the only way it can actually work is if you have a tangible timeline. I don't know if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like if you have a partner, you're here wherever you are, and the person is in like the next country, or let's just say United Kingdom or something. Yes, it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be terrible, but it's easier to hold on when you know that there's a fixed date or a time range when you're gonna see this person. If you agree that you're gonna see each other within like 3 months, yes, 3 months is a very long time, but eventually it gets there. If it's every 1 month or you don't see each other for 6 months, but then when you then see each other, you're going to spend at least a month or two together or some type of
Yeah.
thing. Like it has to be something you can actually cling on to and have hope on, you know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then if you then have a relationship and then this person is gone for a year or even just 3 months, but then the fact that you actually don't know when you're going to see this person, it's really hard to actually hold on to something like
Yeah.
that. And then that being said, there's no target. You start having insecurities. This person is going to vanish. You're going to have two separate lives because in South Africa, everyone turns up upside down every weekend because that's South Africa. And
Yeah.
things are pretty chilled in Bulawayo or whatever the case is. In the United Kingdom, Rema probably has tours every single city and state. And, so yeah, like the lifestyles tend to be different, especially if you're apart, If you're all in the same space or the same place, you basically have same timetables or something similar to that. So it's easier to align.
Yeah.
But then the minute you're apart, you start having friends the other way. Then they are also caught up with whatever the hell they're doing. Now it ends up feeling like the other is, what's the word I'm looking for? Why is my
Forcing
English running
things.
out? Huh.
Forcing things. I was
Yes,
going to
but
go
there's
with force.
forcing things. Yes, but there's one word like, you know what? When it comes back to me, I'll let you know. But yeah, it ends up feeling like you're forcing things, because imagine you're giving your partner so much time and attention and dedication to actually chat with them, right? But then this
Yeah.
person probably knocked off from work, and the friends from work or the colleagues are just saying, "No, let's go grab a drink," and you
Yeah.
can't really turn down in as much as you know your partner. So in as much as it's not really your fault, but at the same time, it ends up in like one is now forcing things.
Yeah, but isn't that a bit okay? Because like, let's say you're moving from a place where you've been in a relationship, you've been in the same place for some time, yeah. But then now
Mhm.
that you're apart, you get time to explore things as an
Uh,
individual, as opposed to being in a unit. So which means you get to
mhm.
rediscover who you are. You also perfect
Mhm.
some of the things that that you bring to the table, because now you're not really confined to this person. You're not coexisting per se,
Mhm.
and you have all this
Mhm.
time to explore who you are. Isn't that a bonus though? Because I feel like if you have distance, you can do some things
Mhm.
that are like hobbies. You can fully pursue certain things that edify who you are as a person, right? As opposed to being with that
Mhm.
person the whole time, because there's some things that you can't make time for if you're in the same area, right? Maybe I'm just looking for a brighter part of all this long distance relationship thing. But yes, I do get that you're saying there are also some insecurities, because in exploring these new hobbies, these new talents, and whatever things that you're doing to edify yourself, you do meet other people in different spaces, which could be a threat in your relationship if it's not that strong.
Mhm. Mhm. I think another thing maybe this is like too far fetched, but it also depends on how long you guys have like been together.
Oh, okay. Okay,
I
that's
don't I
true.
don't know if I don't know if that yeah, because you see for people who have been together for like at least 3 to 5 years type of thing, you know each other to a point where even if this person is unavailable for a certain amount of time or something like that, yeah, you know that no, this person, well, he's probably either at work or he's asleep or his phone is dead or something. Like you don't have those insecurities because you know what that person probably does at a certain point in time, and you know the person is gonna communicate eventually or whatever the case is, you know. But then
Yeah.
if it's someone you really don't know, you don't even know what that person is even doing at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
You really don't know, you know. Your partner, if you've been with your partner for so long, even if that partner disappears for 3 days straight, yes, you're gonna be worried that they're actually offline for 3 days straight. But you know, if this person is really gone for 3 days straight, then something is really up and something is like really serious type of
Yeah.
thing. But imagine if it's brand new, you don't even know if this person is actually in genuine trouble or this person just went to trade fair for the last 3 days. Or Manchester sat down and played fair all in a row. Yeah. You know, you then find out stories later on in the future, and then now you feel dumb, especially given the distance. Now you even start wondering how many times this person has been doing this. Or,
Yeah. I guess also,
yeah.
but then you see, there's
So
some people that start relationships off the basis of long distance, like they've never met. And do not say
mhm,
this because we all know
mhm,
someone has been through this.
mhm,
Anyways,
mhm,
they
mhm.
start a relationship that is long term. All right. And
Yeah,
then, so the strength in long distance relationships for me is communications. Like you communicate above everything else. You
that's
get
true.
to a point where you pour out yourself, man. The one thing that you only have is communication. Like it's
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
the one thing you have. So you can peak
Mhm,
from the get-go that this person can't communicate for shit. Even if your schedules are
mhm,
not the
mhm.
same, you find time, because at times like you have different time zones and you still
Yeah.
make it work, right? So
Yeah, that's
communication gets
actually true.
better. And I guess it makes long distance possible if you can communicate, because you can't tell me you're that one person who can't really talk, you're using shorthand, and then you respond after 10 hours, and you basically
Ah,
you're basically off the grid. You don't know what's happening around the world. So what are we going to talk about? Because communication also means sharing things, right? So if you don't
mm,
have anything to talk about, what exactly are we going to be pushing the relationship with? What's the fuel to the relationship? Because we got to have updates here and there, things that connect us. So I
mm,
guess
mm, mm.
communication is something that really has to be strong. And if it's strong enough, I guess you can make a relationship work. And then the next item I'm going to ask about, because this one is the one. This one is the one. Okay, prepare yourself.
Yo, oh, you
Prepare
should have
yourself.
given me a heads up before this. This doesn't count as a heads up, but okay, it's fine. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Intimacy, the loneliness. Oh man, the loneliness. How do you handle a relationship like that? Because it's a relationship in the sense that
Mm,
you're with this person, yes, words of affirmation and all that, but the
yeah.
intimacy, part. How do you get
Yeah.
intimate online? It's not like you're gonna sext. If you sext, then what? You jerk off and you go to sleep?
Yeah. Okay, now you see that one. That one is tough. I will not lie to you. The intimacy part, at least from my point of view, because I know I really like vibe with the intimacy part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That one, I don't know how other people deal with it, but it still comes down to like targets,
Yeah.
like if I'm gonna starve for the next 3 months, it's fine. But I know that after 3 months, I'm gonna get some. If you have a target, then cool, you can work with it. Yes, it's horrible, it sucks, especially if you and your partner like really sexually active. Like it's at that point, yeah, that's really horrible. But then if you have targets, you can get away with it.
Yeah, because we're not going to run away from the reality of temptations, yeah? Because we live in a world with other people, so temptations are going to be there. The desires for all these things are there, because like we are sexual beings. Like you said, what if you're sexually active with your partner and you guys like go at it big time, and now you're forced to be in a long distance relationship? What happens to that intimacy? And the temptations are just way too long. And if you're saying you're going to be separated for long periods,
Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I think at that point it just now rests in God's hands at this point. Like you just pray your partner is strong enough to like resist, because we won't lie, the temptations will forever be there. Now imagine you're horny as hell and your partner, you just fought with your partner, you go out with friends, and then imagine the position you're in at that point. It could be a lot of stuff, the amount of temptations that happen at that point, and there's really nothing you can do. Like at this point, imagine not seeing your partner for like 10 months straight, right? And then you have a fight, and then shit happens.
And then
like,
you come
yes,
back.
It's wrong. Yeah,
and you come back and you're told she's pregnant with your child.
Nah, that one is just horrible. That's just terrible. There's no justification for this one. It's a bunch of stuff. Like you see, if your partner comes back and then they now have a baby, it means they had sex with someone else, probably more than once, enough for them to be actually reckless enough to have a baby.
Yeah.
With more sex. Yeah, like that's how reckless were you for you to even get to that point?
Yeah.
That's intense, bro. Yeah, that one, I don't know if there's any coming back from that one, but
no, there's no coming back from that one.
I think from that one, really, but long distance relationships, all in all, I feel like you just have to trust your partner.
Yeah.
And hope that the love just keeps everything together no matter what happens. Yes, you can fight. Yes, you can be very far. Maybe the person lacks communication or they're really tempted, whatever the case is. It just comes down to the love part, and you hope the person loves you enough to actually, be faithful and loyal. And if they so happen to like get really tempted and stuff happens or whatever the case is, then you just hope that they actually are open enough to actually tell you so that you can make a decision from that point.
Yeah. Well, if they're being honest enough, it kind of makes it all better, right? So that's the win part. And then maybe the last part, I don't know if I'm calling it the last part, because this topic does have a lot of things. We might actually have a part 2 just in case. But finances, right? Because if you're in a relationship, most of the time you share financial burdens, right? But then now you're in a long distance relationship, which means there's more expenses, there's more logistics, right? Let's say you're going out to find a better life for the both of you, right? But then you have to be sending money back, right? And then if things get okay, you have to, cater for travels, this person traveling to come and see you. And the cost of it all is just a bit different. And then we look at how Zim is structured right now. When it comes to data, data is a bit expensive in Zim, but in other countries, you might be safe, but you still have to find ways of getting money for that data. And then the other things that I mentioned, and then the basic finances. If you used to like share these responsibilities, it's a bit different when you're now away, especially if you can't send the money as much or as fast as you hope to. What happens then? Like, how do you handle things like that? Is it more on communication and, you know, like you're saying, the love and things like that, or it's just going to be a matter of compromise because it's a bit complex when now money is involved?
Well, I think on that part, I feel like for me, okay, I'm just going to be honest. You remember how I said really from get-go, for the most part, really, since I was young, I told myself, nah, long-distance relationships are not my thing, right? The reason why I actually thought that way was because for me, I normally switch from emotion to logic.
Yeah, that's how it's gotta be.
Like, yeah, fine. We've been in a relationship for so long, everything works out. Yeah, cool. Yeah, fuck it, right? But then you really need to establish, okay, what's the reason for the long distance relationship? Let's just say we're staying in the same city, we're like staying together, for example, right? And then all of a sudden, one of us has to move away, right? Are you moving away because of work? Are you just visiting? Or there's something you gotta do and then come back, or you're literally moving entirely, right? If this person is coming back, then, well, you know, even if it's a year, they're still gonna come back and then we just resume, right? So even if there's like financial problems and everything, like what you were explaining just now, you know, okay, if I can't provide for you during that time, at least you just compromise until I come back, or you get a job, or whatever works for us at that point in time, depending on what your partner does, right? So you just make it work until we go back to normal and then we continue, right? If this person is now moving permanently and is actually moving away, you now then need to establish, okay, so if that's the case, are you supposed to move to the person, or are they going to come back eventually?
Or it ends.
What's happening? Yeah, like what's happening here? You know, you need to establish that. And moving from a certain place to a literally new different place, that's a lot of stuff you need to consider. Because imagine if your career is based on where you are, moving to a totally different country means a brand new establishment for everything that you're basically doing. And that's going to take time. Are you going to be able to financially sustain everything? Like it's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of work, man.
It's a lot of work. Like if you can get past all those logical items there, and then you have at least a plan A for most of the stuff, then yes, you can, give it a shot. But if you see that this person is moving to Sierra Leone, halfway across the world, and they're staying there permanently. I'm in Zim, for example, and there's no way for me to go there. I can't leave everything. Like, how then do you have a relationship when you really know that it's bound to fail eventually? I know it sounds harsh. I know this is not what makes up the relationship entirely, but it's still there. It's a factor.
Yeah. So end of the day, you gotta be honest with yourselves, and you live from this whole fantasy, because I love you is fantasy, right? Because you can say it and not mean it at times, right? So the reason why I'm saying I love you is a fantasy. It's based on emotions, right? But then when it comes to these practical things, is how do I make loving you work? How do I make everything logistically possible? Because if you're not honest with yourselves and you're not thinking long term, if you're not going to marry this person, right, it's going to be impossible for that relationship to thrive. Because how do I then move you? You're not going to move as a spouse. So what exactly? You can't move as a girlfriend either. So that's why it's got to be honest at some point where you graduate that relationship, especially if you know the long distance is going to be long term. How then do you secure the relationship? That's where marriage comes into play, right? It's not really a marriage of convenience, because we've seen people do that. There are people that have traveled out of the country with spousal visas because they wanted to leave. But then if you're with your person, this is not just a move. This is a necessity.
Yeah.
It's like you safeguarding the relationship. You have to graduate the relationship to a point where it's that solid, where you can move as a unit, right? Because we've had people, families that are out of the country providing for their partners that are back home, right? So it's a possibility.
Yeah.
These things work. So there's no formula really, like what you're saying. If you trust your person, if you're true to your person, and if you love your person. So maybe this is me wrapping up, because I think we have about 4 minutes to wrap this up before we get booted out. There's some other things that I want to address, and they're going to be a little violent. We talk about long distance as long distance, well, actual physical distance, but there's some relationships that have distance in them where they're not emotionally in the same plane. Do we count those as long distance as well?
Nah, I don't, okay, that one, I really don't. What do you call that, actually?
Situationship, maybe? Because it's like,
I don't know.
The distance may not be physical, but they're worlds apart, right? It could be just that, but then there's a lot of other things, because there's some people in the same area, same city, and they only see each other like once a month. Like, what's the difference between them and people in relationships? Are they failing to make time?
Well, to be honest, I feel like you see, there are like certain types of relationships, different types. It's like a very big spectrum of relationships. There's people like what you're just saying. These people stay in the same city, but they see each other once or twice a month, whatever the case is. And as much as that's very weird, some people actually prefer that. Because some people are so absorbed and dissolved into whatever they're busy with and what they're actually working with. They want a partner who's there but not there at the same time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So for some people it actually works. Like, there's nothing really wrong with that. You only see something wrong if you then have a partner who's like that, and whether you're a very emotional, touchy, sexually active person, it would feel like, no, this person is really not trying that hard to like make this work, So I think it also comes down to like knowing the kind of person you want and what you actually want in a person, type of thing. So it's not a long distance relationship. It's just
how it is.
Some people, it is. Okay, it is, yeah. But some people are like that. Some people are just mainly focused on the sex part. I don't care what else you do, wherever you do it, as long as we meet up and then we have sex whenever we want to, type of thing. Some people are the talking phasers, whereby they're always in a talking phase for the next 6 months. That way, there's no commitment to it, type of thing. Yeah. So
the reason
it just comes down.
The reason why I was bringing this up, right? Because end of the day, right, there are different relationships, like you're saying, right? So with long distance, it might literally be the same thing, but the only factor that's different there is distance, right? Because it moves from it being distance to being psychological. Because if this person is close and you're going to see them in a month, but at any given point, whether it's not going to be a month apart, you're still going to see them, and you can see them whenever you want to. That possibility is there, right? So maybe before you say anything, because we're going to blow this episode and they're going to cut us out. So I'm just going to sign out. We're going to move into the next episode and we'll see how it goes. And then this is now directed to the people that were listening. And if they made it this far, what do you think about relationships, like long distance relationships? Are they viable? How do you make this work? And if you're in a long distance relationship, what are you doing different? What are you making? I don't know, man. I don't know what you're asking at this point. But hey, if you're in a long distance relationship, how are you guys doing it?
How do you do it? Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, so this has been an interesting one. My name is Q, and, well, you're going to have to say your own name, bro.
Well, my name is Lance. That's my name. I don't have any other name, so yeah, cool.
All right, cool. Catch us on the next one, and do listen to the rest of our episodes. And then if you're listening on Spotify, we're going to leave that tag open. So do respond and tell a friend to tell a friend. All right, let's get it.